when did you first get into games, or when was your first video game? When
Oh,
did you, you know?
so my oldest brother is well, I say much, he's about 14 years older than me. But I remember way back in the day when he brought back his first Windows 95 PC. I don't know if you remember when you used to shut down those PCs, you'd get a big warning that said it's now safe to turn off your computer, and you press the big red power button.
Yep.
That's kind of when I started kind of getting into games. But well, actually, I would say it was before that because he had an Amiga as well.
Hmm.
So it was stuff like Eye of the Beholder, Monkey Island, that kind of thing. So
Oh
like, probably
yeah, yeah.
showing my age a wee bit there.
No,
But
no.
like
Those games are
all
awesome.
the way back. Yeah, all I mean, I had a Mega Drive and stuff, or I think you would call it a Genesis if I remember right. But all the way back then. But like I liked the PC gaming and I liked the Amiga gaming, that kind of thing. That was kind of more my bag. So like
Yeah, yeah.
the first game that I remember like putting a lot of time into was probably the original Command and Conquer, first one. So like that's I mean I played other games before that, but that was the first serious PC game that I started
Yeah.
playing back in the day.
I didn't play
And
that one,
I
but
actually I managed to beat the Nod campaign before my brother did, and he was raging about that.
right on.
That was good.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I played those old Sierra games back in the day, like King's Quest, the Quest for Glory,
Ah, yeah, remember
probably
that?
all those.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it was the same thing that got my start. Um, yeah, so you're, you know, the the seeds are being planted at that age. Then, what do you currently do outside of making your own games? Like,
So I work in IT actually, and I've
mhm.
actually been trying to use some of that knowledge to kind of help my process. So like one thing that I've set up, and again, this has been fun stuff to learn as well.
Yeah,
So I, I'm a big fan of automation, and what I mean by that is so like at our core, I think developers are lazy, and what I mean by that is if there's something we can repeat, why are we repeating it manually? Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
That
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So like, what I've actually got now, as well as developing my game, I've got a process now that I can double click one batch script, and in that batch script, what happens is I publish builds to itch automatically using Butler.
Cool.
I can uh, create an APK that also gets uploaded there to get downloaded. I
Hmm.
publish a web build to GitHub and I back up my files to Google Drive all with one click. And I now do that. Like I was only doing that like every month or so because it was such a tedious manual process. But
Yeah.
now after every session, I run that batch and it does all my backups and publishing for me. It's like the lazy man's dream. So
Yeah.
like again, because I work in IT, like I've got kind of decent like PowerShell and batch scripting experience, that kind of thing. So bringing what I know from work to the table to kind of make my life easier a wee bit.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Did you move straight into IT, or did you go to college for
You,
something else and then went into IT?
I did that. I went to uni to do computing. Because
Yeah.
like I said, like I got the bug. It wasn't just the game I was interested in. I was interested in the PC as a whole at that point.
Yeah.
That kind of
Uh-huh.
like sealed my fate, so to speak.
Hmm.
My first job at uni, I had to actually move down to England to get some work there because you know what it's like when you come out of university or college, like you can't get a job without experience, but you can't get experience without a job. So
Hmm.
you had to kind of go where the work is. And then
Yeah.
after doing a few years down there, I was able to get some experience and then come back up to Scotland, and I've been here ever since, really.
Yeah. Yeah. You studied computer science, or
That's right. Yeah,
just
computer science. Yeah.
um, so you so you had the basics of code ready to go
Yeah.
straight from college.
See,
So
Yeah, see, I wouldn't say I wouldn't even say I'm a strong coder, but I've got a good understanding of like the theory and science behind how code works. So in my day job, I don't write a lot of code. I write some code, but most of my job is troubleshooting and debugging.
yeah.
So like for example, like I'll get like a thing that's broken, and I'll need to go walk through it and find out what's happening. So I've got good analytical skills in that sense. So while I maybe can't churn out or crank out a lot of code, I can when I need to, like for my game, but like I've got a good overall understanding of logic and how it works. So like I feel comfortable in my support role, you know.